TNT Monster Truck Challenge, matching the superstars of monster truck racing side by side. We're at Stafford, Springs, Connecticut, and the Auto Value King Crunch, minus a little sheet metal, takes on Dave Wysoric's beautiful new Nightlife Chevrolet. And the Auto Value King Crunch may not look real pretty, but it gets the job done. Scott Stevens with the victory. Let's watch it again on the replay. As on the second set of cars, the King Crunch ride, smooth as silk, takes the victory over Dave Wysoric. We get another look at it from a different angle, and you can see that the Auto Value King Crunch really doesn't have too much of a problem with Dave Wysoric's Nightlife Chevrolet. Scott Stevens wins it. Here he is with Chris Chapman.
Scott, congratulations on what looked to be a pretty easy victory.
Yeah, as ugly as that old Auto Value King Crunch Special is, it's still running really good, and it was a win that we needed to get by. The truck's running real good tonight. Ran into Kong in qualifying and didn't really hurt our truck none. So maybe we got a little momentum, can keep on going. Last couple of races we've been running real good, so maybe it's going to be our time this week.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.
The Auto Value King Crunch running strong, despite, as Scott Stevens noted, it not looking at 100% here in Stafford, Springs, Connecticut. Stevens will be back a little bit later. First round competition now, matching a couple of old war horses, if you will. These guys have battled several times in the past. Chevrolets out of Georgia. It's the Clydesdale out of Minnesota. USA 1. Steve Wilkie in USA 1 with the big lead. In the middle, he's in trouble. Oh, no, he's going over again. The ninth time that this truck has been on its roof. Steve Wilkie and USA 1 winning, but flipping in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Wilkie looks okay. He's up talking to his crew chief, who's already over there. John Kwasniewski, the Buffalo Tremor team, out trying to help him out. Bennett Clark is the other driver with a helmet on in the Clydesdale. He's the driver who lost to USA 1 on that run. The ambulance coming out, but Wilkie's okay. Well, at least he's okay physically. He looks angry at more damage done to the Chevrolet out of Ham Lake, Minnesota. Acknowledging the crowd, but Wilkie not happy about it. Look at it. Let's see if we can pick up what happened here on the replay. Wilkie was in control of this race the whole way, has the lead over Clydesdale. Boy, he didn't hit the second set right. That's what cost him. It looked like he just did not get his left side up the ramp properly, so he went up the ramp at an angle, came down at an angle, and over he goes. Wow. Rod Litzau drove that truck to the '88 World Championship, but he flipped it in winning the championship at Louisville Freedom Hall. Then Litzau had several problems with it in '89, flipped it several times. Wilkie took over, but the truck has not stayed on all fours any better. And again, that's a total of 9 flips for that truck. We're going to get another angle, as again our crew has done a masterful job of capturing the problems of USA 1 from every angle possible. And Steve Wilkie's USA 1 on its roof. There you see Steve. And this is certainly going to add more fuel to the fire of debate about that truck, about its safety, and about whether it should be running on the TNT Monster Truck Challenge. That truck keeps flipping. They keep sending it back to Minnesota. Everett Jasmer, Steve Wilkie, and the entire crew, no question, do a great job about getting it fixed and keeping it fast, but they can't seem to keep it on all 4 wheels. Is it the truck? Is it driver error? Well, you would think it's not driver error, because despite the fact whether it was Rod Litzau or Steve Wilkie, the fate seems to be the same. The truck is super fast, but it has trouble staying right side up. The loader will pull it back up. Boy, you can see fluid just pouring out of it. And we have seen the last of USA 1 on this night in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Wilkie and his crew will now begin trying to rebuild the truck here in Connecticut to try and have it ready for more action in less than 24 hours on this track. But right now, it's Wilkie trying to survey the damage and certainly trying to see exactly what has to be done to keep this truck ready to race. Or will they have to ship it back to Everett Jasmer's stable in Minnesota? Well, Steve Wilkie is away from the truck. He's back on pit road, and Chris Chapman is tracking him down. Let's go down to Chris.
Steve, I don't think 9 times charm.
No, Chris, I don't know. I don't know what I have to do. The field's running so fast. I got a hammer on it, and Again, I don't know what happened. I know I was crossed up in the middle and just stayed in the throttle, tried to drive it around. The True Value Chevrolet, she's tough. We're going to do everything we can tonight to try and put it back together. You know, I don't know what to say. Everett Jasmer and Greg Knutson and everybody, Mark Gerard, my crew chief, everybody back at the shop, they worked their tails off. And I just don't know what to say, Chris.
Steve, is there any point, this has happened to you an awful lot, is there any point where you say, oh no, this is it, it's over?
Well, Chris, it's my job to not only drive them, but to build them too, so I'm responsible too. I don't know what happened. The front studs snapped out the springs. But again, you know, I personally, of course, would like to see a new truck out, but that's up to the boss. I got to do with what I got right now.
Well, supposedly there are new USA 1 trucks being built in Ham Lake, Minnesota, but so far they keep patching up this old one and sending it back. Here's what it got patched up from. June 16, 1990, not so terribly long ago. Steve Wilkie snapped the wheels right out from underneath this truck in Richmond, Virginia at Richmond International Raceway. That's what they had to take back to the shop. They put it back together, and it flips tonight in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. So the USA 1 truck in familiar ground, and strangely similar, those two crashes, weren't they? It looked like the front end buckled both times, although that time it ripped completely the whole axle assembly and wheels out from underneath. This time, they stay intact, but USA 1 is on his route. Wilkie leaves, but we're ready for more first-round competition as Bigfoot number 8, Andy Brass, takes on Mike Wine in the Outlaw Ford. Bigfoot's in trouble. He had to get on the brakes, and Outlaw beat him. Mike Wine, the Outlaw Ford, with a huge upset over Andy Brass, and Bigfoot number 8 again. The handling problems that were not evident running short courses for this truck inside over the winter bite him again on a long course outside. Andy Brass and Bigfoot trying to make up precious ground in the points will lose critical points here. Boy, there you see it. He had to get out of the throttle, and that's all Mike Wine and the Outlaw needed. One of the biggest victories ever for Mike Wine and the Outlaw Ford team. Wow, let's watch it again. Coming to the finish line, Mike Wine holds on, and he wins it by the length of one wheel over the Bigfoot Ford. And the crowd is stunned in Stafford Springs, Connecticut, as Mike Wine has upset the big Ford, and Bigfoot may be done unless he can get back in from a fast loser rule. Well, there you see him taking a look now at the Outlaw. That's Nick Rossi, who owns the team. Obviously some problems in the engine compartment of the Outlaw Ford. But Mike Wine's got to have a big smile on his face. He has come up with a victory over Bigfoot. Chris Chapman's in the pit. Chris?
Everything off there. That's incredible.
Mike, you've been flying 100 miles an hour for a big victory over Bigfoot, but now you're saying you're out?
Yeah, here's what happened. There's a small piece of metal, an adapter. It bolts to the bottom of the crank to run the blower, run the power steering, to run everything. It broke in half on the second set of cars. We have other ones that are stock, but as you can see, the two difference in the cranks from a kryptonite crank and a standard bore 460 is about an inch difference. Now, 1 inch makes all the difference in the world when you're out here running. Foot's going to be able to come back, but it builds a lot of confidence in a person and everybody else now who I'm running with, and when I run him from now on, I know in my heart I can beat the man. Even though he got squirrely and got off the brakes, I can still beat him. Anybody can mess up.
So we haven't seen the last of Mike Wine and the Jersey Outlaw.
We'll be out this evening, but we'll come back. We'll fix it right. Do it the way it should have been done the first time. We'll be back. That's all.
We're sorry to hear about the bad luck, but congratulations on the victory.
Thank you very much, Chris.
The quarterfinal round of competition will have Bigfoot back in it, and it's coming up next.